Update. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my trust fund with my step-siblings? So, a lot has happened since I posted last. After the whole situation with my dad and stepmom telling me I should share my trust fund with my step-siblings, I went back to my grandfather's house for the summer to help take care of him. He's still really sick and his health has been declining rapidly. I hadn't mentioned anything about what my dad and stepmom said to him because I didn't want to stress him out. Well, turns out he found out anyway. My dad must have mentioned something during one of his visits and my grandfather was not happy about it. Here's the kicker. Grandpa had originally left my step-siblings each a small gift in his will. Nothing huge, but enough that they'd have something to remember him by. But when he heard about the demand that I share the trust fund, he hit the roof. His exact words were, "If they want to be greedy bastards, they get nothing." He called his lawyer and now they've been completely written out of the will. And it doesn't stop there. My grandfather also had money set aside for my dad and stepmom in his will. It wasn't as much as the trust fund, but still a pretty substantial amount. He's taken all of that money and put it in my name now. I didn't ask for this, but he made it very clear that he's pissed at my dad for trying to undermine his wishes. He also transferred the deed to his house to me before he even passes. He said he wants to make sure that no one else can lay claim to anything he leaves behind, especially since my dad and stepmom clearly can't be trusted to respect his decisions. So now, I'm spending the summer with my grandfather in the house that is technically mine now. We've been spending a lot of time together and it's been pretty special. He's shown me how to take care of the few animals he still has, and how to tend to his garden. We've planted new things together, and we've just been talking and enjoying each other's company. It's honestly been the best part of this whole experience, even though it's been incredibly sad knowing he won't be around much longer. The best part? My grandpa, with a completely straight face, told me that if I ever give in and give any of them any money, he'll come back to haunt me. And I believe him. He's serious. I can totally picture him pulling some supernatural strings just to make sure I don't give in to my dad or stepmom. That old man would absolutely do it. I've been going back and forth about feeling bad for how things have turned out. My dad could have avoided all of this if he had just accepted my grandfather's wishes and not tried to push me into sharing the trust fund. But he didn't, and now things have spiraled way beyond what anyone expected. Do I feel bad? A little. I never wanted things to get this messy, and I didn't want my dad and stepmom cut out completely. But at the same time, they brought this on themselves. They could have left well enough alone, but instead they tried to guilt-trip me into going against what my grandpa wanted. So that's where things stand now. I'm spending what time I have left with my grandfather, and when the time comes, I'll be taking care of the home and the land just like he wanted. If my dad or stepmom have any complaints, well, they only have themselves to blame.